to the Hanford Dixon Show, or should I say, a top of the morning to ya on the Hanford Dixon Show with the top dog.
That bark is a little... No, I have not been drinking, so don't even...
No, we both overslept today, and neither of us are Irish, but producer Pat in the house has got all these amazing decorations. He is our Irish lad in the house today. Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. You didn't bring me any corned beef this morning. It's no big deal. No chocolate coins.
Well, let me say this from Hanford Dixon. I was... this is funny as hell. I mean, I never... oversleep.
Oh, yeah. Tell us your Alka-Seltzer story.
Well, yeah. So I'm, this morning I'm lying in the bed. I wake up and I look, and it says 8:27. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm just, I'm just jumping and running and I said, we're doing our show at 9 o'clock this morning.
I know.
So I'm rushing to the shower. I got to take a shower. I got to take a shower, and thank goodness that's all I had to do.
Yeah.
Except for that McDonald's Diet Coke, though.
Oh,
hey, cheers that to the camera.
Yeah.
Cheers that one to the camera here.
That's all he had to do.
Yep.
And there's no Crown Royal in this Diet Coke this morning because
no Irish cream in there. Nothing. No
Baileys.
What's that one? Baileys.
Yeah, but it was just so funny. I mean, I was just rushing, man. I am rushing. And first thing I think about is Pat and Gab.
Oh, okay. The St. Patrick's Day traffic.
They are going to be screaming at me trying to, if I come up in there late. I said, but it is St. Patty's Day, so maybe I'll tell them I stopped at a bar or two before I came in. You know what I mean? I can get away with that today.
I was glad you were a little late because so was I. I woke up at 8:09, so I woke up before.
You did?
Yeah, but I was exhausted. I don't know. The week has kicked my butt. I've been trying to go to Cavs games and stuff too, and which we can get to that with the Cavs, but yeah, I had a hard time moving quickly this morning.
Well, I'll say this: you can only hope that you look as good as Gab do when you wake up at that time in the morning. I mean, when you wake up late. Check this out. I was walking down just to just throw something into that story. I was walking through downtown, and one of the guys on the street or something, I mean, living on the street, you always feel bad for him. You always try to do what I can to help him.
Yeah.
And especially this guy, I did what I could to help him because he said to me, he says, Hanford. And I said, oh, hey, big dog. How you doing? I always call him big dog. And he says, I watch your show. You have that pretty girl on that show with you. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm thinking he's getting ready to just give me some props or something, and talk about the show. And I've been, damn, here we go again. He's talking about you, Gab.
We missed you from those playing days.
Yeah. That's what I thought he was getting ready to say.
Wow.
Everybody always remember, Pat, not you and I, but this damn Gabby over here.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, that's right. Cheers to that one, Gab, right? Tip of the cap to you.
But I thought that I had to tell you that, and I thought that was pretty nice that here's a guy. I mean, he's living on the street. He's got all the a lot of problems and stuff, and the only thing he can think about is Gabby.
And every now and again, I have an intelligent thing to say.
Yeah.
That's right.
and we know she's not just that, but she is very, very.
Yeah, how's it been going to the Cavs games, Gab? Being credentialed over there?
It's been fun, Hanford. You got to get to a game. We did obviously snap our 16-game win streak. It fell a little bit short against the Magic on Sunday. But
you know why?
What's that?
Because I was watching the damn game.
Every
time I watched one of those games, something bad happened. But I just couldn't help it because I was going back and forth, and I'll let you finish your story. I was going back and forth, watching the game, and then I wanted them so bad.
I know
to get to that number 17.
I did too. Why did we get like this? This is exactly like what happened the last time. The more invested I became, I put so much pressure. Not that it's just single-handedly me, but obviously I don't have that kind of pull. But really, at the game, I was like, we're getting 17 today. It's happening. It's Women's Celebration of History Month, was yesterday. I'm like, this is the day. And then, nope.
And then the thing about it was at home.
Yeah.
I mean, it was at home, and Donovan, I
Yeah.
don't think he had one of his best games.
No. Well, the Magic
and
went on a
I'm
real
not blaming it on him. I mean, they're like us. I mean, we always we win as a team, we lose as a team, and they have that same attitude. But I just hate that we lost that game and we didn't take it, because I think the record with the Cavs is 16 in a row.
Yeah, we
correct?
hit the record, the franchise record. 16 was
And if we'd have won yesterday, we'd have broke that.
correct.
Oh God.
And then we would have, some other stuff too. Like we'd be the first team since blah, blah, blah to be however many. And, at the end of the day, none of that really matters as much as like bringing your A game when it's postseason time. And some of these wake up calls are important. Not even a wake up call. It's not like we're not awake. It's like you just get a little check, a little learning thing. You can take some of those with you moving forward to when it really counts.
You know who I think is really good, though, who we're going to have some problems with? I mean, I think this team is OKC. I mean,
yeah.
you talking about those guys are just. I know that yesterday
We're gonna need Evan Mobley healthy.
Yeah. I think yesterday they were playing the Bucks, and I was back and forth to that game a little bit. But when I was watching that game, man, they were just handling the Bucks, and we're talking about the Bucks are a good basketball team. I almost said the Bucks are a good football team, but the Bucks are a good basketball team. And OKC, man, what's that one guy? Their superstar.
I know it. Let's see if he can get there, Gab.
But no, that's what I'm asking.
He's got 3 names.
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. There it is.
You know exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Is he awesome or what?
Yeah, I mean, so it's funny, too, because like him and Darius have very similar play styles. They get to the free throw line a ton, really good at shooting free throws, too. It's crazy how well the Cavs and the Thunder match up. I think the Thunder are a little bit more athletic, maybe, but the Cavs are more physical, and, we got DeAndre Hunter on the defensive end. Like, it's crazy how similar those two teams are. I would love to see them in the NBA Finals.
And you're exactly right.
Did you see the meme of Shane? They took the comedian.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Too bad we don't have
Shane
that.
Gillis?
Yeah,
I'll
Shane
have to
Gillis.
find
And they
it.
were like, and somebody morphed the two together. And it was like, so it was Shane, the comedian's face, Shane Gillis, on Gilgeous-Alexander. Is that how you say it? Gilgeous?
Alexander, yep.
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, here we go.
But you're exactly right, Pat, talking about those two players, Darius, and they can create their own plays right off the dribble.
Man.
Have you seen any of his stand-up? He was like in the Super Bowl commercials and stuff.
No.
He's kind of exploding on the scene, I feel like. Shane Gillis.
No, I tell you who's exploding on the scene, though, talking about comedians. What's the one lady? I think she hosts.
Oh, Nikki Glaser. Well,
Nikki
she's been on the
Glaser
scene. She's been on the scene. I think she's actually starting to solidify
I'm
herself.
telling you, she is raw, man.
She's incredible.
She is so good. I'll tell you guys this, talking about comedians. This weekend, what's the comedy club? And I always
Hilarities?
Hilarities.
Love
is that on
Hilarities.
East 4th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, they had their awards this weekend. Did you guys know that? They gave out all their awards,
Okay, yeah.
and I was there to present one
Okay.
of the awards, and it was just I thought it was funny, but it wasn't funny to them. So I'm jumping up there, and before I present
Get your
the
first
award,
bomb?
well, yeah, before I present the award, I'm cracking a couple of jokes, and nobody was laughing at my jokes.
Wow. Not even a pity laugh? Not even a pity laugh for the top dog?
Not even a pity laugh. And I
You
tell
had
her,
to invite me. I would have laughed.
and then I turn around and I look at them in the crowd. I say, "You goddamn people here don't understand a good damn joke." I
Right.
say, "You could tell none of you guys never played football in your life, because if I told these jokes in the locker room, all the boys would be laughing, and then all of them started. They were laughing at that. But I just thought that was so funny that
Wow.
nobody laughed at.
We have to take a break on that because that is hilarious.
Nobody laughed at any of my jokes. Say that again. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
Okay.
There
Good
you
job.
go.
Good job.
I think
Good
you're
job.
funny, buddy.
Good job. Okay.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon show right after this. Welcome Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We are going to get into our Browns headlines brought to you by Northeast Factory Direct. If you haven't checked out our friends at Northeast Factory Direct, you've got to get there, especially if you're looking for a mattress. I mean, obviously, Hanford and I have been there. We've checked out all of the furniture as well. You know, you got to check because we want to give away the chair and everything. You won't be disappointed with all the options there. They even have saunas and just all kinds of things that you would need for your home, and they're way less expensive than what you would pay at any of those fancy retail stores. That's kind of the common theme there. You're going to get such a great bargain for your buck. You can shop online at northeastfactorydirect.com or visit any of their stores like Hanford and I. We went to Cleveland. There's also Euclid, Macedonia, or North Canton. All you got to do is ask for that Hanford Dixon bonus so that you get your deal.
I'm sitting here listening to you talk about them, and I'm laughing because all I can think about is that picture of us, Pat and I, trying to get you to get out of that bed. You were so comfortable in that bed. We
That's
were
right.
there. We're like, Gab, we have work to do.
Gab,
Can we go?
come on.
And
Always laying around.
Yeah,
Oh my
you
God,
just want
Gab.
to get out.
What I remember about that trip the most was when Pat told me, he's like, go up to Hanford and say, hey,
Right.
which side does Ozzy sleep on?
Right.
Because we
That's
were
one of my
passing all the
favorite
beds.
moments.
And so I went over to Hanford. I was like, hey, so which side does Ozzy sleep on? And he was like cracking up. He was so mad. Which, by the way, we have a quick Ozzy story
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when you wished him a happy birthday a whole month
Yeah,
early?
yeah.
Well, it turns out you called him yesterday and...
It was so funny because I was talking to him about the golf tournament, the players yesterday, and because I didn't want Roy to blow the damn thing. And about halfway through the conversation, he waited a little while, and then he said, you have something you want to say to me? And I'm like, oh, happy birthday, big dog. I was getting to it. I mean, I was trying, I was getting to it, But I was so into that tournament. Anyway, do you have any news for me on that tournament? Because it was a playoff.
Oh, I do.
It was a playoff
Oh, wait,
yesterday.
here, let me
so
turn up over here.
I-
Rory McIlroy of
On all days,
Northern
St. Patrick's
Ireland.
Day of all days, Rory
Yes.
McIlroy.
It's his second time winning
Coming through.
He's a players champion for the second time, but he also wins it for the second time on St. Patrick's Day. The other thing was, I just love the fact that they were putting up. So that's his 28th PGA Tour victory.
I knew it was 28 or 29. Pat,
He
who's
did
the
have
guy
that.
he played against? He was in the playoffs with
JJ Spawn.
JJ Spawn,
Yeah.
and
That's tough because,
Yeah.
Hanford, what's it like the day ahead of a big game? Because JJ and Rory, they had to sleep on that. They came back at 9 a.m. on Monday morning instead of playing the whole day through on Sunday. You got to come back. You got to sleep on the lead.
Yeah.
You're playing a really tough hole. What do you do as an athlete when you're stressed and you got the anxiety of the big game coming up the next day? What do you do there?
Well, you know what I thought? I thought really that this layoff would help JJ instead of Rory because, and I'll tell you why I say
love
that
these tweets
because.
too. They're like, you think Rory's gonna lose on St. Patrick's Day?
Well, because Roy is the old vet. I mean, he's a guy that's been there. He's done it. I mean, he is like you said, Gab. This is like his 28th win on the PGA Tour. And I was listening to JJ. They talked to him yesterday. You remember yesterday? I mean, during the tournament, they had the big weather delay because of, rain and the winds and everything was pretty bad. And he said with that delay, it really helped him because he was able to gather his nerves and realize the moment that he was in. And so that's how he played so well down the stretch. And I think if they would have not waited to the following day, I think it would have helped Roy more. But I thought it was going to help JJ Spawn, but it didn't. I mean, Rory came out, and I think he was 1 under, and they played they played 3 holes, and then what happened was throughout the stretch, Rory must have bogey coming in. But he knew exactly where he was. He knew exactly what he had to do in order to win this thing. And you guys just talk about it. St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day, Roy McIlroy.
He's not losing on his day.
Hey, Pat, you can't get any more Irish than that, can
That's
you?
right. No, you can't do it. And honestly, too, it's funny because JJ Spawn, I think, hit it in the water on 17. So that's brutal to come back.
Hey.
All you're doing is thinking about that hole, and then you sink it.
Hey, guys, listen to me. The 17th hole in that. I mean, it's just brutal. I mean, it's the island green, and it makes you tremble when you go up there and you're ready to hit that ball because I mean, it's especially if you have the lead in this golf tournament. I mean, it is so scary. That's what I was, and I keep going back to Ozzy, and I told him, I said, "Dog, I can see you now. You win in the tournament, and you come up on that 17th green, and I know you're shaking in your boots." And he's like, "Nah, dog, I'm going for the middle of the green." But I'm telling you, that island green is just something special there at that tournament.
That's right.
It says something about these athletes not to choke something away in those kind of pressure-filled moments.
Well, I'll tell you this: they had so many balls in the water during that tournament. I mean, and you talking about professional guys. You're talking about guys that they do this for a living.
Speaking to the difficulty of it.
Yeah. And especially if you got that wind going a little bit, you got to figure all that in. And these poor caddies, you're talking about guys that really earn their money. They earned their money in a tournament like it did yesterday. But I'm just so happy for Rory. I like the guy. Obviously, there's a few guys on tour that I really like, Tiger Woods being number one. And speaking of Tiger, guys, I don't think we're going to see him again on this tour.
Achilles injury.
Yeah.
We won't see him again.
Yeah, probably we'll see him on the Seniors Tour.
Probably.
Pretty much.
Maybe Augusta. If he can get, he'll play one tournament a year like they do, like Jack Nicklaus did for years, whatever. But we won't see him again on many tournaments.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw this coming from him. He had surgery, and that's a pretty serious surgery that he had. But I'm just a big golf freak. I mean, I just love it. I love to get out there. I wish I could play a lot better than I can, that I'm playing, but that's all right. Just to see one of those balls go down the fairway. And I told you guys about I almost had my hole-in-one last year. I almost had it,
footage. We'll have to bring
first
it back.
hole-in-one.
I'll tell you what, too. I know it's probably not official yet, but look for the Senior Tour at Firestone Country Club like we did last year. We filmed there, the Hanford Dixon show last year. I think we'll be there again if we play our cards right. But I think we'll be planning on being at the Firestone Country Club again this summer. But it should be a really interesting event. I mean, it's going to be a great golf summer, too, guys.
Yeah. So do you think we'll see Tiger there?
I don't think so.
No?
Unfortunately,
Maybe
no.
like
but
another year.
Yeah, he would need some time to get under that.
Yeah. Myles Garrett, I'm a big fan of Myles Garrett. It's just hard to ignore all this news that's coming out. Happy for the guy. Look at him getting his paycheck, Hanford.
Right.
And then the Browns put out a little video of him on Andrew Siciliano's podcast. And, they ask him, like, hey, based on the talks, here, we'll play it. Are we allowed to play it? Okay.
In all seriousness, do you know who the quarterback's going to be? I mean, do you have an idea?
After conversations, I do have an idea.
Okay. Do you like the idea?
I like it enough to be here smiling in front of you because I think we have a good chance of that happening and making the most out of it.
What a weird answer, guys.
Well, what'd you think, Hanford? What'd you think?
I thought it was kind of an odd interaction between the two of them. I think he was trying to trip Myles up a little bit, but I thought Myles handled himself pretty well. I mean,
Myles knew it's for the Browns, so I'm sure he didn't think like, I hope I'm not getting in a trap or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe an odd interaction.
And let's just tell it like it is, and let's face the fact. I mean, all three of us and majority of the fans. I mean, we're a better football team with Myles Garrett on our team, and we all
Myles Garrett. We're glad to have Myles Garrett. We also want him to be happy.
Yeah, and we all agree with that. I just people are getting on him about some people, not everybody, are getting on him about the statements that he made that he want to trade. He's not going to play with the Browns anymore. It's not about the money. But I guarantee you put just about everybody, you put them in the position that he's been in, and they're going to take the money. I mean, there's no way anyone can question this guy because since this guy's come to the Browns, he's been with us, I think, 8 years right now, and he was the #1 pick overall. and the numbers that he's
Mm-hmm.
put up. I mean, every single play. A guy like Myles Garrett, he's never taken a play off. Never
No,
taken a play off. I
This
mean,
guy works.
and
He's
you
a
talk about
workhorse, and he comes and he shows up.
yeah, and you talking about a guy that on every single play you have 2, 3 guys. You have guys they're shading guys to his area to try to help whoever's on him.
Yeah.
Myles
They
Garrett is
say it
Myles
takes a
Garrett.
village for success. It takes a village to shut down Myles Garrett.
Speaking as a defensive back, let me tell you something. And you guys know when I'm getting ready to say it. I say it all the time when I'm talking about Myles Garrett. I wish and hope that I had somebody like Myles Garrett rushing the quarterback when we were playing. But leave Myles Garrett alone. Now we have to concentrate on the areas like the quarterback position and shore up other positions on this football team because, guys, we got to win games. I mean, we have to win games. That's the bottom line. Everybody else in the AFC North is headed in the right direction. And now I think with us re-signing Myles Garrett, we can fill some more holes on this football team, and then we can go in the right direction.
So do you think with that answer, though, Gab, do you think Myles knows we're going to take a quarterback at 2? Like, that's had to have been what Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski told him, right? Because otherwise, like, who else even could it be? Like, you're telling Myles Garrett you have a quarterback. That's the only real option. Do you think it's almost guaranteed they're taking a quarterback at 2 now, guys?
Honestly, Pat, after chatting with some of my friends last night at the Cavs game, I don't even know anymore. I
Yeah.
don't know anything. The closer I think that we're going to do the quarterback, then I hear somebody's alternate theory, and then I'm like, well, honestly, guys,
Right.
I have no idea. I'm not even sure anymore.
And that's
I'm just
kind
gonna
of
sit back, watch, hope for the best.
Yeah.
I want Myles to be happy. I want us to win games.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, if we can just win games,
Well,
because now I could see it going either way. Like,
exactly.
Well, I'll say this, Pat. It wouldn't surprise me. I think I think they've convinced him that they're going to address and take care of the quarterback.
yeah, right.
Take care of that position. And it wouldn't surprise me if, and again, I talk about some of the guys that are out there. Kirk Cousins, I don't want him. I mean, I don't want him here. I have nothing against Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, but a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's made a ton of money. God bless him. I mean, he's made a ton of money. Nobody could be mad at him about that. But I don't want a Kirk Cousins. Obviously, we've had Russell Wilson in here. We've interviewed him. We had Myles and a couple other players over at the facility when he came in just to talk to him to try to maybe get him to sign. But I think, guys, we don't have a choice at that number 2 pick. I think we have to take one of those quarterbacks.
You gotta take
I
one of
think
those
we
quarterbacks.
have to take one of those quarterbacks, and I think we will take one of those quarterbacks. Again, I've said it. If it was me, now, when we take one of those guys, I would make him play right away. I mean, I see where they're heading. I think what they're trying to do with bringing Russell Wilson in here, they want to maybe play Russell Wilson if we would sign him, and then with that number 2 pick, maybe groom the guy a little bit and get him ready to play. But I think if you take a guy that high, I mean, throw him in the fire right away. I mean, let him come in here and let him play. And then I would take another quarterback. Like I said, it doesn't have to be Jalen Milroe. I just joke about that a little bit. But I would take another guy down the line just in case. And who knows, maybe you may hit on that guy too. So,
well, we also have Kenny Pickett. Did we talk about this yet?
Not
We
yet.
didn't get to get Hanford's opinion on this, but
Yeah.
the Browns trading for Kenny Pickett, and they sent Dorian Robinson and a 5th rounder to Philadelphia, which I think was a good move.
yeah, and Kenny Pickett, we all know that he was a high pick with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this guy, listening to him talk at his press conference, he knows that he's going to have to compete for that starting job, and he's ready, and he's ready to go, and he's ready to do that.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I don't think he really got his chance at, he didn't get his chance for people to see what he's
Right,
made of,
right, right.
And he's still young. He's like 26. So
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
think this
young.
is
I mean, he's really younger than that. Even like he's younger than Joe Burrow. So
yeah.
the funny thing is, like, they gave DTR as many options and chances as they could, but at a certain point, you're going to take somebody like Kenny Pickett, who's got at least he's got the first round pedigree. You know, you give up a fifth, maybe it's a little richer than I would have liked, but I don't mind that move for the Browns.
Well,
Yeah.
I think what they did with DTR, they finally realized that he wasn't the guy
Yeah,
that
I
they
think
thought
we saw enough.
that they thought that he was going to be with this football team. He was never going to materialize into that maybe a starting quarterback. So what they did was obviously they threw him, like you said, Gab, into that trade for Pickett. So let's just see where this thing takes us. But I would like to see. I don't want to go into the season. I'll say this, thinking that Kenny Pickett that's going to be our starting quarterback. I would much rather go with drafting a guy number 2 and throwing that guy in the fire, because that's going to be our future. That's going to be the guy that we're going to go with. I know you're looking at me. I know we need to take a break, so I'll shut my mouth.
All right, we'll be back.
Shut my mouth, Gab is telling me,
I have
not
some-
with the words, but with her looks.
No, I have more theories too. We'll be back. Let's take a break, and we'll see Hanford after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It is time to go a little bit around the AFC North. Hanford, brought to you by our friends at Garage Beer, which it's St. Patty's Day green. And a great beer, by the way. You've got to try it. They come in 2 flavors, a light lager and a lime. There's no frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer-flavored beer, as they say. And it's perfect for St. Patty's Day.
And this is the one day that we allow you to drink on the show, and that is your second garage beer that you've had on this show. So one thing I have to say, you hold your liquor pretty good. But no, thinking about hold it.
Gab is a professional.
Yeah.
She
Hold
does not drink on the job. I would like that noted. I would like
He
that
says,
noted.
hold your liquor. First of all, none of this is liquor.
Hold it. Go ahead, Pat. You was going to say something.
No, we're roasting this man
What were you
today.
going to say,
We don't
Pat?
care
Yeah,
if it's
no,
your
she's
show.
a professional, and also it is not liquor; it's just beer.
Yeah.
It's
Let me
just
say-
beer-flavored beer, you stinker.
let me say this. Being St. Patty's Day,
Yes.
I want to hear you and Pat have any good stories you could tell about.
Not for television.
Yeah.
Pat probably doesn't for TV.
Yeah. PJ McIntyre's over there on the west side. Do you know that bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, really, really good Irish bar over in the West Park area.
Oh, yeah.
So the West Park, where I grew up, is a very heavily Irish area.
Oh, okay, I didn't
which is
know you
terrific.
were hip to like that. I've been to PJ McIntyre's. That place
PJ
is
McIntyre's
wild.
is great.
It
The
could
Public
be.
House over there.
Public
Yeah.
House. Those
Yeah.
are
If you
two
haven't been over there, they're
classics.
basically across the street from each other. Yeah, get over there in
I'm
West
sure
Park.
both of my sisters have bartended at all these
Oh, yeah.
establishments.
It's good stuff.
And my story, well, I'll never forget the first time I tried Bailey's in my coffee on St. Patrick's Day. When drinking with my friends in college, and then also like took a nap after and like had myself a day. I'm like, wow, day drinking is so underrated. But also, I was like, wow, I can actually just get up now and still have more of a day.
Yeah.
But my really good friend, shout out to Marie McNamara, lifelong friend. We grew up on adjacent streets growing up. And big family, 8 kids, a good Irish Catholic family. Anyway, her and I went to high school together and everything. We played sports together. She knows how to party, obviously, given her background.
Yeah.
And she also went to OU. She was in Cleveland.
What
for
do you
St.
mean
Patrick's
her
Day.
background?
She's
What do you-
Irish.
What do you
Irish.
mean?
They're
her
Irish.
She's Irish.
The Irish know how to drink. Clink. Okay? She'll be the first to tell you. Her whole family. But, you know, I was excited to meet with her downtown, and I was so excited. I gave her a hug. She gave me a beer. She was so excited to hand it over to me, and it knocked my front tooth, and there's still a little chip.
Wow.
Still a little chip
Brutal.
on my front tooth. Thanks to Marie McNamara. And, yeah, she's an incredible Irish dancer as well. Spent her childhood Irish dancing, taught me how to Irish dance, and then that's what we did at her wedding.
Well, see, I didn't know that about the tooth. I was going to ask you when you said you chipped that thing. I was going to say, that's after how many shots?
No,
But,
it was just an excitable hey, and then she I think she like handed it over to me, and I don't know, my depth perception isn't great anyway. Maybe without my glasses, who knows?
But guys, isn't this great though? I mean, St. Patty's Day, and then you got the parades and everything that's going on downtown, and where is it? Is that Chicago where they just turn?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, the green.
Yeah,
Green River.
Yeah.
One of the funniest moments in NFL Twitter of all time was the Bears made a Happy St. Patrick's Day graphic, and they made the river orange. Which, if you know anything about Irish politics, Very not acceptable.
Oh.
That's the
Ooh.
English side. Let's put it that way.
Did-
This orange over here, wherever you can see that,
Yeah.
that's the Protestant English side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not great for them Bears.
So
from
did,
the Bears.
did they
Oh,
know right away that they
Yeah,
had made a
They had
mistake?
to delete that immediately. Let's put it that way.
Have we ever?
Gotta
Can,
know your history. Gotta know
That's
your
right.
yeah.
can
That's
you guys
right.
remember? I mean, have you heard? Have we ever turned the a part of the lake green?
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
Yeah,
nice?
that little strip near Shooters. We've never done
Interesting.
that.
I have no
don't know.
idea.
Who-
Yeah,
who
the
kn-
Cuyahoga River over
I
there.
would
I
have
don't know.
just assumed we have.
Yeah,
That
you'd
would-
think so in this town, but
that would.
Speaking of green, though, guys, we do have to get to these money, these
Yes.
big contracts. I haven't seen the actual numbers yet, and I'm so excited to because we
check
are
this
going
out,
around
Gab.
the AFC North Hanford,
Okay.
and we're talking St. Patrick's Day. We're talking green, and the Bengals.
look at that money.
Cincinnati extended Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Okay, I can't wait to see this.
Wow.
Jamar
Chase-
Chase, 4 years, 161. T. Higgins, 4 years, 115.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, they got.
Remember we said these were
paid.
going to get astronomical.
They got paid. I mean, who would ever thought that these numbers would be?
161 for 4 years. Okay, so according to my calculations versus Myles, we have a new
Yes.
highest non-quarterback.
Yes.
That's right.
Highest
Yes.
paid non-quarterback.
Yes, with Jamar, and you know what, guys? Because it's shocking. Because when you think of the Cincinnati Bengals, you do not think of them as being a team in the National Football League that throw money around like that. That
Right.
really pay their players. Because look at one of their own defense. Pat, the defensive lineman, I think Hendricks or whatever.
Yeah, Hendrickson, Trey
Yeah.
Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson.
How are they going to pay him?
I mean, you know, here's a guy where I think they have allowed him to go out there and test the waters a little bit, but they find money for these two guys. And you have to say this now. You have to say this because Joe Burrow, their quarterback,
Yeah.
he's the guy that's come out publicly and wanted these two guys signed.
Yeah.
And
He wants his pieces in place.
yeah, he wanted his pieces in place, and you have to give the Bengals a lot of credit because they don't throw money around like that on their players. And now I think what they realize is that you have to keep these guys. If you're going to keep them, you got to make them happy. And I think T. Higgins, I think part of that deal, I think 2 years of that deal that T. Higgins got is guaranteed. And Jamar, I mean, guys, let's just face it. I mean, he's got to be. He is the best. I think if he is one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the National Football League. And these two are the best tandem, I think, right now in the National Football League. But I am shocked when I saw those numbers.
Right? How
coming
much do you
from-
think this affects, like, you know, their ability? We kind of touched on it, but their ability to rebuild the rest of their roster.
Well, they need to pay some attention.
Mm-hmm.
They have to pay some attention if they're going to be really, really good to the defensive side. But now you're wondering where are they going to pull this
Yeah.
money from that they need to address those areas over there. But I mean, it's a good problem to have because you got. I tell you, what, you're going to score. You're going to score a lot of points, and these guys, I just can't get over it. I'm just shocked, though. I am just
Yeah.
shocked of the Cincinnati Bengals that they were able to come up and they would spend the money that
Yeah.
they're spending.
I
And
just
I
feel like
hate it. Wait, I hate it because they're in the AFC North.
Yep.
Because you know, as a cornerback or a defensive back, you don't want to. You know, whenever you playing against those guys, you got Joe Burrow, your
Yeah.
guy that you just love
But
to death.
To you played defense.
Yeah.
You know the importance of defense.
Yeah.
And you know you got to have a good defense too in this league. So I mean the Bengals defense was bad most of this year, and now they might lose their best defensive player, Trey Hendrickson. So I mean you're just kind of thinking about like, all right,
Well, you know what they're thinking. We got to outscore them. You know,
Yeah.
We just gotta go up by 50 and then-
we got to score more points than
Yeah.
they're going to score. I mean, we just have to do that. But you know, it's just a sign, though, that how strong that AFC North is. That's why it's so important for us talking about the Cleveland Browns to get our ducks in a row, to get our team better. Because everybody else in the AFC North, talking about the Bengals, talking about the Steelers, talking about the Baltimore Ravens, all those three teams are moving in the right direction. And that's why I say it was just a great, great step in the right direction for us to sign Myles Garrett and get him back under contract with this football team. Because I'm telling you, I thought at the beginning of the year, and I'll say this, I thought every team in the AFC North had a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's was my thing. Go ahead, Pat. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
you.
Here's my thing. So, and I encourage all of our listeners, once you're done watching the Hanford Dixon show, go check out Enter the Jungle with James Rapine and Andrew Fox Miller on this very network. They'll have you covered. I'll tell you that. They'll get way more in detail than we are. But here's my thing, though, guys, is they missed the playoffs last year with Jamar and with T. Higgins having career numbers. That's why they got these extensions. Just because you got your money doesn't make you faster on the 40.
Yeah.
Just because they're not, doesn't mean Joe Burrow stays healthy.
Right.
They already had a bottom 3, bottom 5 defense in the league. Trey Hendrickson, you can kiss him goodbye. Like maybe they could have franchise tagged him instead of T. Higgins. I don't really see that as an option either. But if you're going to trade him, they're going to take the entire draft on defense this year.
So
there's not a chance that they don't.
That's a big question
Huge.
I've had with all of these astronomical numbers too. Is like, and it's not like I'm, knock on wood for everybody. Want everybody to stay healthy, But I do think about like you're gonna pay all this money and you can't guarantee someone staying healthy.
Exactly.
Which is crazy to think.
Well, and that's the same thing about Myles Garrett. I mean, we don't want to jinx him or anybody else, but you're exactly right. Football is a violent sport.
It's wild. We pay all this money and like you have no idea.
Yeah, and but you have to do it today if you're going to be competitive. I mean, you have to do it. It's a different time because the amount of money that they're throwing out there to these guys right now is unbelievable. And like I said, you just have to be happy for the guys, and they're finally making the money that they should be making, and they should have been making for a long time. But we'll see. But Cincinnati, I'm just, you could tell I'm just gasping for words right now because the Bengals absolutely never paid that kind of money. But you know what they'll do, guys? We talk about this defense.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they understand. They know that they need to address those areas. And maybe, I'm sure they're planning on trying to find ways to pull money from somewhere else in order to address those needs in those areas, to fill those holes in their defense. But I hope they don't. I hope they can't find the money.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
at a certain point, does the owner have that much money?
Right.
Like, that's 270, I think it was, $270 million.
That will tell you how much money those owners are making.
Right.
Because with that TV contract and everything else, I'm telling you, for them, those guys are not stupid. Those owners are very, very smart guys. Yeah. And for them to give out that kind of money, they are making a ton of money.
They're making good money. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It is time for our Lipton Hard Tea hard-hitting question of the week for you, Hanford, on this wonderful St. Patrick's Day episode. Well, we're shooting this on St. Patrick's Day.
Did I say?
Look at his little.
Did I say to you guys, Happy St. Patty's Day?
Yes, you did.
You did.
Okay.
Certainly did.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I said that. I'd have said it again. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I'm glad you showed off your bling, your Patty's Day bling. Here's the question for you. What team do you think has had the best offseason so far? There's been a lot of moves. Some notable moves around the NFL here. Bills signed Joey Bosa. Commanders traded for Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel and signed Kinlaw. Let's see. Rams signed Devontae Adams. Bears traded for Jonah Jackson. Oh, there's just.
Do you have Washington on that list? Do you have
Washington's interesting too?
Yeah, because I think they made some interesting moves, and I think they really helped their football team. Thank God they're in another conference and not in the AFC. They're in the NFC. But I think when you look at them and the moves that they made to help their football team, because almost getting there, I think with that football team is not good enough for them. I don't think that's good enough. I think, guys, I could tell you this, a team that I'm shocked that hasn't made any moves or practically nothing is the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you look at the Dallas Cowboys, and they just they haven't. Jerry Jones. I mean, now you're talking about an owner that has money. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's got to be, I think, number one as far as the most profitable franchise in the National Football League, and they haven't made any moves. I mean, to help their football team. I thought they were going to go after Cooper Kupp. I thought maybe they were going to try to make a move on him, but that just didn't happen. But that's one team that I'm just surprised that they haven't made any more moves.
One of the teams I think that's having the most surprising one is certainly the Rams with Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Because that means they're going full in on, Puka Nacua, that receiver, and Kyron Williams at the running back position. They talked about Matthew Stafford not asking for a trade, but exploring trade options. So that was a really interesting one. And now they're essentially running it back just minus Cooper Kupp, who's now gone to Seattle, which is a really interesting one as well.
Well, and Seattle, and you can understand why Seattle made that move to sign him, because when you look at it, they got rid of their 2 wide receivers, and they bringing this guy in. But this is just such a fun time of year, though, with the free agency and everybody's moving and everybody trying to position themselves right now. You got the draft that's obviously getting ready to come up, and people could say what they want to say. You got the NBA, you got college basketball right now, you got all this stuff going on, but the NFL is still king. I mean, it is still king. It is still the #1 sport. I don't care what you say. Everybody loves the National Football League, guys. Everybody loves it.
Football is king. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. Want to give one of our show writers, Nick G,
big
a shout out.
Big time.
Because he made this bracket of sadness.
Dollar Dog Nick.
Dollar
Dog Nick.
Browns quarterback March sadness bracket.
Who would you guys pick out of this, though? So here's the thing, and I'll jump on the screen here for a second, but who do you pick out of here to be your Browns starting quarterback? Because there's a couple of options. You got, Russell Wilson's in there, I guess. I know Kenny Pickett. Good Lord. Hanford, you think
you know who
Kirk
I would
Cousins?
I would take I like the kid Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's out of this group right here, that's who I would pick to be our and understand this. Jalen Milroe is down there somewhere, so don't think I'm ignoring that one. But that's who I would pick, and also I would go Cam Ward. After that, I would go Sanders.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, that's all right.
I would go Sanders because I see Russell, I see Flacco, I see Rodgers, and all those guys are on that list. But if it was me, that's who I would pick, one of those guys. I don't want that new blood. I don't just want that those old. We already know what they could do. We've seen what they could do. Let's bring in that new blood, our franchise, our future. That's what we have to do.
You want
work
Cam?
on that.
You want Cam?
I would work on Cam, and if we can't get him, I would do Sanders.
Yeah, I'm on Sanders. I think. Yes.
It's gonna be interesting because we might not get the opportunity to get Cam Ward.
Right.
Titans are keeping it tight-lipped. They could go Travis Hunter at 1. That's what I would do if I were them, because they're way more than a quarterback away, in my opinion. But Cam Ward could go there as well, so you never know.
Hanford, before we close out the show, we have a little bit to chat about. Well, first of all, I just found out what your middle name is.
Yeah.
Hanford Lee. HLD. Give us the HLD group.
Yeah, we are the HLD group, and what we do is obviously real estate based, and it's like you said, it's the Hanford Dixon group, and I have a team of agents that are with me on my team, and we're with eXp Realty, and if you're looking to buy or sell property, just hit us up, give us a call. We will definitely take care of you. Last time we talked about the HLD group. Got a call from my buddy Geraci over in Avon Lake, him and his wife, getting ready to buy a property and sell their property, and they call us, so we're gonna take care of them. Thanks, guys, for the call. But guys, give us a call. We'll take care of you.
Hanford's taking care of business. He's taking care of
You know it. You know it. You know it.
You guys,
we
mentioned
it.
Always
you
taking
know
care
it.
of business.
God damn it. You know I'm getting ready to go.
That's
you
right.
know it's time for that
You know
song.
Yeah,
you know.
But real quick though, we talked about Ozzy's birthday the other day, but we also got to wish a happy birthday to Clay Matthews.
Oh.
Yeah, his was on Saturday, March 15th. I think it was Saturday.
Another legend.
Yeah,
Clay, big
absolute.
dog, happy birthday.
How
Boy,
about
I
that?
tell you, now, you talking about, let me say this real quick about Clay. You talking about a guy that could rush the pastor? It was Clay Matthews. Him and Chip Banks. We had two guys on the outside, all pro guys, Clay Matthews and Chip Banks, and I'm telling you, they were as good as they get. as far as rushing the quarterback. Happy birthday, big dog.
Hanford, do you want to sing?
Well, I was going to hit my song, but Pat interrupted me.
No, get in there.
Some people say I'm no good.
Ooh,
I'm crazy as can be.
he's on his stuff today.
I get drunk in the morning, I get stoned in the afternoon, but I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, leave this short-haired country boy alone. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
We'll see you next week.